This edition of Tru Heel Heat is sponsored to you by Wrestling Travel. Wrestling Travel is an organization that brings wrestling fans from all over the world together to go to your biggest events like WrestleMania, Wrestle Kingdom, and Bound for Glory. To learn more, go to WrestlingTravel.org and also subscribe to the Wrestling Travel YouTube channel and learn all about Wrestling Travel and check out Lockdown Sessions with Justin Clapper.
Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are back once again with our latest podcast, Tru Heel Heat 94. On this edition of Tru Heel Heat, we will be discussing the latest wrestling news, including all of the fallout from WWE Clash of Champions Gold Rush, as well as a big shakeup in New Japan Pro Wrestling, the latest on the outbreak in WWE, week 48 of the Wednesday Night Wars between WWE NXT and AEW Dynamite, and we preview another jam-packed week of professional wrestling with Impact Victory Road, more G1 Climax 30 action, and NXT Takeover 31. I am back once again with the princess of all the true heels, the co-host of SmackDown with the Lynches, Miss Krssi Luv.
Hello.
Hello, boo.
How are you guys? Nice to see the trio back in effect, just the three of us.
I like your Tru Heel shirt, vintage.
Yes, vintage. Yes, thanks.
This feels like a vintage episode. Vintage
like
Tru Heels.
Yeah, this is great, guys.
Yes, Top Guy JJ, sounding like Michael Cole, but I got to give him a proper introduction. He is the one and the only Tru Heel resident alcoholic himself, Mr. Top Guy JJ.
Oh, geez, baby, let's get this shit started. I'm loving the vibes of this episode already. My man got the blanket behind him for the classic Tru Heel set. You know what I mean? Krssi with the Tru Heel shirt on. I got the homage to Brooklyn Takeover, not Takeover New York.
Right.
Brooklyn. This feels vintage, baby. Let's get this shit going.
Yes. They don't even sell those. I need one of those T-shirts too. I'm gonna have to go on.
This shit sold out at the arena.
I know.
Very happy this week. But yes, we are the original Tru Heel trio with us this time. We'll have a very special guest on Tru Heel Heat 95. I am sure the road to 100 continues.
Nice.
This edition of Tru Heel Heat is brought to you by our very good friends over at Wrestling Travel. We would like to thank the good brother, the Clap Man, Justin Clapper, for appearing on Tru Heel Heat 93. And this, in going further, a couple of episodes straight will be brought to you by Wrestling Travel. So check out their YouTube channel. Check them out online October 5th. They'll have a huge announcement about their next tickets that you can get to your next great wrestling show, whenever that may be. And remember, guys, to like this video, give it a thumbs up, share this video with all your wrestling fans and all your wrestling groups. We talk about everything from the professional wrestling world, from WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, whatever anything that ends with wrestling, we talk about it right here on Tru Heel Heat. So bring it out to everybody. And of course, the iCard down at the bottom, push that to subscribe and the bell to stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Heel Heat. So speaking of you, the viewers, our subscribers, this right here is our Tru Heel roll call. How we start off every Tru Heel Heat by shouting you guys out, all our supporters on social media, our YouTube channel, and everything in between. Our top 3 conversation starters on the Tru Heels group page, the Tru Heel Trinity. Coming in at number 3 is Mr. Charles Kirkhoff. Coming in at number 2 is the New Japan aficionado, James Wims, who's very happy because it's the most wonderful time of the year, G1 season. And coming in at number 1, the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson.
Tell you, man, every week James Wims is somewhere in there. He floats. He's in every week, man, every week.
Somewhere in between. And the Tru Heels, we got to shout out Mike Fitzgerald, Trayvon Trice, Ray Weaver, and Tiffany Marie. Our YouTube subscriber highlight, we got to shout out Kwame Shafir, who commented on Tru Heel Heat 93. WWE once again insults our intelligence by wanting us, the viewers, to pretend that we didn't know the members of Aces and 5'8" were signed to NXT contracts. WWE equals enjoys insulting our intelligence for many years now. I don't know how that coordinates to WWE, but it equals that. Kid Get Money commented on our WWE Clash of Champions pay-per-view roundtable. Great job by you guys, Top Guy JJ, who was a part of that. And Kid Get Money commented, Drunk Guy JJ has the best outros in the game. I agree. Sengu _01 says for Wednesday Night Warriors episode 17, that episode is basically 2020 in a nutshell. Fun review as usual, fellas. And if you want to know what was the episode name for Wednesday Night Warriors episode 17, it was Card Subject to Rona. Kind of like Tru Heel Heat 93's title was G1 Clash of the Rona. So, Kayfabe Tactics is our last comment that we got to highlight from that Tru Heel Heat episode. He says, I can't stand any English commentary in professional wrestling. It really distracts me from the match. When they're describing shit I can already see for myself. Or trying to make a dumb joke or saying the same old shit I've heard for almost 40 years now about why a heel is doing this, blah, blah, blah. Even in the WWE shows I watch, I switch to any language other than English because then I can just pretend everything they're saying is 100% what I agree with. LOL. Great comment right there by Kayfabe Tactics. And that leads us into what we missed. And what we missed was WWE Clash of Champions. And yes, the acronym for that is COCK. Yes, with the subtitle of Gold Rush. And it was main evented by, I'm going to say right here, the best WWE pay-per-view main event of 2020 with not the tribal chief, your tribal chief, our tribal chief, everyone's tribal chief, the Universal Champion Roman Reigns defeating Jey Uso in probably one of the most emotionally driven matches of the year. Regardless of what promotion you watch, this was emotionally driven. This was some of the best storytelling we saw in professional wrestling in 2020. And the big dog with one of the best performances of his career. Same with Jey Uso. I know Top Guy JJ had a lot to say about it on the pay-per-view roundtable with Miss Krssi Luv. What was your thoughts on this main event?
The main event I thought was good. A little too long for my liking, but I loved it. I love all the emotion in it. I everything about it. The lays being put on him by Paul Heyman. I mean, the other brother coming out and like, all right, dog, you happy now? You happy? Like, what's up? Like, leave him alone. Like, why you doing this? I thought all of that was amazing. For a shit show of a show. Great ending to that show, because if anything else ended, I would have been very, very upset about it. But other than that, I think that was a good match. Great. Too bad people were like, these are the matches that they give us when people should be there. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like, if a crowd was there, do you understand like what he would have felt from like feeding off of that? Like, that would have been amazing. But you know, best work can't be done with people. I guess you have to be on a screen as this new age of life is happening. But I actually liked it.
It definitely would have taken things to the next level if there was fans in attendance. But I rated this on my Sportskeeda article for star ratings for WWE Clash of Champions. I gave this 4.5 stars. This was one of the best matches of the year from WWE. I know Top Guy JJ, you gave it 4 3/4 on your roundtable review. But any other comments on this match?
It was the best storied match that I've seen in probably the last 3-4 years. The story, like, when you bleed out such a good story and you paint the picture of what's to come, this is the best thing that Roman Reigns, to me, has done his entire career. This was
agreed.
So good. Like, I was in conversation with a couple of my family members watching. I just said, stop talking to me. Stop talking. Like, I haven't seen a wrestling story this good in forever. forever. Like that, I was like, match wise, probably a 2.5 star match, but the story,
yes,
5.
yeah,
Story was a 5. So I based my rating on the story alone.
Yeah,
because it had me like, oh shit, I wouldn't mind The Rock coming back. I wouldn't mind seeing Rikishi get embarrassed.
Let's bring the whole family. Let's go. Come on.
That like when the E puts a good story on, it's perfect. And now if they continue the route, this is going to be Roman's best story in his career.
Yeah.
I could go on about this shit for the entire podcast. It was that fucking good to me. Like I mean, this Roman already is our guy. We gonna have to reincarnate some of our lyrics to that song. We might have to redo it a little bit.
Oh, you gonna do the tribal chief in there?
Oh, the tribal chief and the king of the WWE's got to fit in there somewhere.
The tribal chief is so strong.
Like, holy shit. Like, when you said that Roman needed a mouthpiece and then we got what he got and then it comes with this attitude, yo, Fridays is the place to be for me for wrestling right now. Fridays is it for me right now. And I've been shitting on SmackDown for the past 18 months.
But that was the thing we tried to tell you when we talked about the whole Rock and Roman. I know Krssi knows about it a little bit more because she watches SmackDown, but I've been watching SmackDown ever since Roman returned, and the whole relationship with him and Paul Heyman, it's about him dictating everything with Paul Heyman. He lets Paul Heyman know. Paul Heyman doesn't need to talk for him because we saw in that match, he cut one of the best promos of the year in the match. Acknowledge me. Call me the tribal chief. Acknowledge me. Say it. Just that's
my comment on the round table. I copped to it. I completely copped to it. I was like, you know what? When we did Tru Heel Heat with 93, I wasn't on board with this Rock thing. But now, yo, here's my fucking money. Take that shit. Take my virtual coins because this shit got me like, yo.
But that also shows what it said, like you said, the dynamics between Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman does what he needs to do. And then Roman don't have to speak, but he still speaks and still reiterates and say, this is me. This is what I'm doing. Like, this is what's happening. Like, you're going to get down late. Like, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, and it's perfect. Like, this is, if it keeps going this way, this got to be like one of the best storylines. This is going to hold WWE together. Other than that, everything else is just throw it in the trash.
This is the top storyline, regardless of what brand. I'm including NXT in this.
Yes, you have to. You have to.
Best story because it's multi-layered. Because Roman is talking about the responsibility of being the champion, that he is the breadwinner for the whole family, because he's used to that responsibility. He's always been the guy. He was trained to be the tribal chief because he sat next to the tribal chief, and that's what makes the whole introduction of Rock, if that happens, even better because he's the grandson of the high chief. So it's like so many layers on top of layers can come from this. And I love what JJ said in the roundtable about Jey Uso didn't give up. Jey Uso had title thrown in, so we can go back to the Jey Uso Roman match. And I even would say I disagree with you on the in-ring work. The in-ring work was very solid. If it was just about the in-ring work, this would be like a 3.5 star match because the in-ring work was a lot better. I thought we were going to see Brock versus Cena in SummerSlam 2014, but Jay got a lot in. It was like
I'm about to say they made the match about them. They showcased each other, and I think they made the match where they can show each other off. Like, this is not no regular match. Like, this is a Uso, but this is a Uso by himself. Yeah. And let him showcase what he can do without the brother there. Not little brother, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Don't let me do it against my cousin, and we're going to do this, and we're going to showcase each other.
But it was like Roman was disrespecting him. Roman was too overconfident, and that led to his comeback.
I wanted my opinion of how amazing the story was to really stand out and not really judge it based on the match itself. Because we judge a lot of things on matches, and I wanted to hammer down how amazing this story was. this was the damnedest story I've seen in the wrestling ring. I don't care what company I've seen in forever. Like, I haven't seen something that had me literally glued to my screen. Like, yo, is he actually gonna stop? Like, he's doing this to his own fucking family.
Yeah.
Like, and Jimmy's reaction just made it so much better. Like, oh, he's like, is this what you want? Like, you got it. Oh, you the tribal chief. You the king. Like,
yo, you happy now? Like, you good?
like the emotion I haven't seen in years. Like, that was like, oh shit, my mind is fucking blown. So it literally, to me, Grand Clash of Champions in a nutshell, if to put it in it, to me, grand opening, grand closing.
Absolutely.
Yes, that
literally what you have for Clash of Champions, because everything in the middle was trash to me.
Yeah, that's why I agree with what you said, that no one's going to remember that, though. No one's going to remember the middle. They're only going to remember that we had a hot opening and a hot closing. The last thing we'll say about this main event matchup is, like you said, Jimmy Uso added so much to this, but also Paul Heyman. When Roman kept asking for him to say the tribal chief, Paul Heyman was just like, "You're my tribal chief," and he's like, "No, it's not good enough. I need him to say it." That was just, I was like, oh, this is great. Everything about this is so great. And I would suggest, if you guys haven't watched, go to WWE Network, watch Chronicles with Jey Uso. Adds so much to what we saw on Sunday, because they talk about them growing up and Roman training to be a wrestler, and how they used to talk about wrestling on the porch, and it was all about going from the porch to the pay-per-view. It added so much about Jey Uso's journey, him talking to Jimmy about the opportunity. You see Big E backstage being like, "Yo, it's your time, it's your time." So it made him such a big underdog going into this match. It added an extra layer that made it even great to me.
That's okay.
So
I'm gonna watch that now.
And Roman, I don't care how I sound. Like, if my woman cheated on me with Roman in front of my face, I wouldn't even be mad. Roman, Roman was fucking amazing.
The presentation of Roman just made you ask, why the hell have they had him wearing a shirt and a vest for 5 years?
But this is probably the best shape he's been in his life. Like, you could see it. Like, he is chiseled.
But he's always been in good shape, so it's like they should have took this vest off of him.
Oh, fuck, man, if my girl cheats on me with him, like, I can't even be mad.
Like JJ said, it was grand opening as well, as we kicked off the show with Sami Zayn defeating Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles.
I got it right
in an insane ladder match.
I must have marked the hell out when I seen him do that. I was like, yes! No, so good. Great match. I mean,
do that again?
Incredible match. Yeah!
This one was
so good.
All that core bass just came out.
This was one of the more unique and innovative ladder matches in quite some time. Sami Zayn got the victory after pulling out 2 pairs of handcuffs and handcuffing Jeff Hardy's earlobe to one ladder, and then handcuffing AJ Styles to another. Krssi Luv, these are happy.
Right. These guys are not spring chickens, first of all. Let's just say that. They are in great shape. They're men of certain ages, and they gave us a hell of a match. And I thought, again, another story told that was well put. Sami Zayn coming out with the hand. It was all put together so good. Because at points I thought, okay, maybe he's not going to win. Maybe it's going to be AJ. Like, it gave different, like, points of the whole match. And I thought it was, like, a great opener. And unfortunately, like, whatever came behind it had to, like, come behind it and, whatever. I don't even remember what was afterwards. It's like, I remember what happened at the beginning and the end. And it was a hell of a match. And I'm so happy that Sami Zayn won. He needs better ring gear, though. It's just trash. But anyhow, go ahead, friend.
Well, he is a traveler. He's a world traveler, so he looks like he's on a journey with that. We also had Drew McIntyre defeat Randy Orton with the help of the ghost of Orton's past in a ambulance match. Good match, but I gotta ask you, Top Guy JJ, what a babyface Drew McIntyre, having 4 other people help him defeat the hero Randy Orton.
I fucking loved it. Like I kind of loved it because it was like, yo, you're making everybody get their payback. Like it was so bad, it was funny. Like it was
right.
Like, yo, sometimes it's good to get some comedic shit and like, yo, to see all of that shit, yo, literally everybody that he's taken out in his past, everyone he's taken out, literally made their appearances back. Like it was like, yo, it was like I literally described it as Super Mario and friends coming back. Get their revenge. Like it was so crazy. Like it was like I was like, oh my god, I'm watching an episode of Mario Brothers and Randy Orton is fucking Bowser. Like everybody came and took out Bowser. Like you had Luigi, you had Toad, you had fucking Yoshi, and you had Princess. I call Ric Flair in that scene Princess because he was the driver. But everybody got their little nugget shots. Everybody got their little nugget shots, and then fucking Super Mario came through with the boot. I was like, this is like video game shit. And then followed up the next night on, right? It made Randy Orton still look super strong.
Yeah.
Love how it made him keep him in this picture because he doesn't deserve to be out of it. And it showed literally the next disastrous night on Raw.
We will talk about Monday Night Raw shortly. The final note from Clash of Champions is, of course, Sasha Banks returned and attacked Bayley following Bayley's DQ loss to Asuka in the SmackDown Women's Championship matchup. We will talk about the reason why Asuka versus Bayley shortly as well. But we gotta move.
Okay,
on,
yeah, talk
guys.
about that. Okay, great.
We gotta move on to G1 Climax nights 5 through 8 was over the week. We previewed that on Tru Heel Heat 93. On night 5, we had Switchblade, King Switch, Jay White defeat Okada. We had Shingo and Ospreay in one of the matches of the tournament contender. We had Ibushi defeat Ishii in a hard-hitting affair. Kenta defeated Zack Sabre Jr., Yano defeated Evil, and Tanahashi defeated Juice, and Naito defeated Goto on night 6. Over on night 7, back in the E block, we had Ibushi defeat Jeff Cobb. We had Ospreay defeat Jay White in Jay White's first loss of the G1, and we had Ishii versus Shingo in a hard-hitting affair. And then before we filmed this, we had night 8 of the G1 Climax with Sanada defeating Tetsuya Naito for Naito's first loss in the G1 so far. Sanada defeating the leader of LIJ, Krssi Luv. Everyone loves your opinion on the G1 Climax and
why?
I'm just going by the comment section. People are happy that you are getting involved.
Watching it? Oh,
yes.
okay.
So
that's wonderful. Okay.
What stood out for you from nights 5 through 8?
Okay, can I just say, so, what's his name? He looks like he should be like in a boy band. What's his? Dang it. He wear blue shorts and they like really, really skimpy, but he got an impeccable looking body.
Ibushi.
He got like a Ibushi. Ibushi looked like he need to be in sync, like back in like early 2000s. Like he has that look, but then he like wrestles his ass. I really, really enjoyed that match that he had. I thought he was gonna lose, but
Which
it was
one?
great.
With Ishii?
Yes. That was a great one.
That hurt me to watch sometimes, some of those hits.
Right.
Because Ishii's whole style is he doesn't sell until he does, and the crowd just pops every single time he finally sells. It's like it takes. He's like the boss in video games where you hit him so many times and they don't budge, and then you finally and then the bar lowers, and then the bar. That's how Tomohiro Ishii wrestles, and it's fantastic.
Yes. So that's what I said. I was like, I got a little. I was like, hey, is he going to win? Or it was like it was the bumps and the spots in that. I was like, and then of course the commentators don't make it any better because it's like because I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but it was good. And then the other match, which was who I said looked like Bane, was that Jay White?
Oh, you said look like Bay?
No, Bane. Who did I say looked like Bane?
I don't. I thought that was from.
He's in the No. Last week on the last episode, I said he looked like Bane with his long. He looked like a younger version of Bane. Anywho.
Tom Hardy. Yeah, you said Jay.
Yes.
White. Yes.
Jay White. Okay, so Jay White and Will Ospreay. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. First of all, I was like, oh, I don't see it's just two white boys going at each other. Well, even though one is a Brit. But anywho, I was like, no one, from that's Japanese is, going against me. But what a match. Oh my God. Loved it. Those were my favorite two matches. Everything else was cool. It was all right. But those are my favorite two.
You see why I was so excited for that match when he named that shit? I was like, woo. Ooh, this one's gonna be good.
Yeah, this one was good. And I was like, I really thought, I thought Jay White was gonna win, but shit, Ospreay was like, nope.
I really loved that match because Jay White really stepped up. He stepped up in that match because everything he was doing was so smooth. It was so crisp. He was going move for move with Ospreay, who's like the fastest wrestler in the world. Like everything he does is just amazing in the ring. Regardless of how you feel about him outside the ring, this man can deliver every single time. I loved him versus Shingo.
That was a good one too. Yes.
That was my match of the tournament so far.
Really?
Okay. Yes, that was amazing. Some of those sequences, how fast they just avoided each other's strikes and the reversals and the counters was ridiculous in that match. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. Top Guy JJ, what stood out for you this week?
I think Krssi hit it for me. I was looking forward to it since the last episode. Once I heard Jay White and Ospreay on that card, I was like, I need in on this match. And what the match that really, really took me by amazing surprise. And I'll cop to it on this episode here. Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenta, to me, was really fucking good.
That was a good one. Yes, you're right. You're right.
Like, they really went at it. Like, that shit was really good. I also did like, I'm a little partial. I did like the Jeff Cobb and an Ibushi match.
Yeah.
I know I got, for some reason, Jeff Cobb doesn't win big matches, but
I'm about to say they shitted on Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb didn't win he lost
probably I was like, yeah, he ain't gonna win the big matches. Like he wins the meaningless shits, and then once he gets a big match, he won't fucking win it.
I said the same thing. I was like,
really good show, and the first main, oh my God, like I was catching a brain fart because it was so hard hitting. The main event with Naito in it.
Naito and Goto.
Oh wait, I don't know. It wasn't Goto.
The other one this week was Naito.
He won.
When that Naito one?
Yeah.
Goto.
Oh, fuck it. That because I'm literally just because I'm going back and forth, and all I just see is hits. These motherfuckers is just like killing each other and shit. And then once he whipped out that first Destino, I was like, oh shit, all right, I'm stuck on here now. I'm stuck on this shit. It was a fantastic couple of days. Like, it was a really good couple of days. A lot of solid matches on there. And I'm sorry, this fucking Suzuki's a fucking psycho. Like, he literally wins matches and doesn't give a fuck. Like, he just moves on. Like, he just puts you asleep and he fucking drops you on your head and then you're fucking done. Like,
is that the one that wear all white? He has like a whole full suit on?
No, that's Naito.
Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
How the fuck did Yano be evil?
Because Yano.
How did Okada lose?
Oh, because Yano is the sublime thief. He's been awesome in this G1. He finally lost today against Juice Robinson before we filmed.
Oh, Juice won something?
Yes, Juice was the one that finally broke Yano's streak. Yano was 3-0, and then Juice he tried to cheat against Juice by taping his feet together and leaving him on the outside. So Juice had to hop on both feet to the ring. He got in the ring. He did a full Nelson and untaped himself. And then Yano tried to low blow him, but Juice reversed it and cradled him up for the win. Yano's been awesome because Yano matches, are only going to be about 6 minutes or less in length, but you're going to laugh at least once or twice. That's why I love that evil match. I love that evil match so much because there was like 6 low blows in about 4 minutes.
Yes.
It
I was like, was the ref not? What's wrong with the referee? I was like, what is happening here? I was very surprised Okada did lose, though.
I was surprised Okada lost to Jay White, but in the Taishi match, which he did win, he showed a little bit of fire. So that we're getting the Okada of old because this lately Okada with the not doing the Rainmaker and doing the Cobra Clutch, as he calls it, the money clip, which is a great name, but the move is just.
I'm glad that you brought that up because it literally felt like I think you pointed this out literally just a few moments ago. It literally felt like Okada was fighting the boss.
Yeah.
It literally felt like, cause Ishii wasn't selling shit. Everything Okada was hitting him with.
Well, no. Okada versus Jay White on the first show. The one I'm talking about is Okada.
I missed this match. This one you're talking about. I missed that match.
Oh, okay.
I missed that. The match that Okada won.
That was against Taishi.
Taishi, yeah.
The Ishii one is the one with Ishii and Ibushi, where Ishii was basically like the boss, the video game boss.
These names, I'm fucking shitty with these names sometimes.
This is what I'm here for.
So does Homeboy always wear a full suit to the ring and then drags his 2 belts?
Only for the big matches, which every G1 Climax match is a big match. He wears the full suit. If he's in like a tag team match, he doesn't even take off his shirt.
Got it. Okay, because I was like, I don't recall him wearing that full length suit like that before. But anywho,
That's Tetsuya Naito. He gets dressed for the occasion. All right. So we got to move on to Warrior Wrestling Stadium Series Night 3. We had a big title change as Trey Miguel of the Rascals pulled out the upset, defeating Brian Pillman Jr. and Brian Cage in a 3-way match to become the new Warrior Wrestling Champion. Joey Janela defeated Robert Ego Anthony with Frank the Clown in a no disqualification match. Kylie Ray defeated Madison Rayne in Rayne's final independent match to successfully defend the Warrior Wrestling Women's title. So plenty of action. Definitely go out of your way to order Warrior Wrestling Stadium Series Night 3 and Night 2 and Night 1. If you haven't watched it already, it's available on Fight TV on demand. SmackDown, we had the go-home show to Clash of Champions with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso stealing the show in the final segment, with Uso with the promo of the year saying to Roman that when they look at you, they see the big dog. They see the Universal Champion. You know what they say when they see me, dog? Which one are you? That promo was awesome.
Yeah, which twin are you? Which Uso are you?
Shit, I was even saying that shit for years. Shit, I was like, I don't even fucking know which one I'm looking at, Jimmy or Jay. I just know they're Jimmy and Jay. I just can't separate them.
Pretty much. And then the other note from SmackDown that I have here is Alexa Bliss once again snapping and attacking Lacey Evans, and then a tease as Alexa looked at Roman and the Universal title, teasing Fiend versus Roman coming up. Krssi Luv, what's been your thoughts about the whole Alexa Bliss Fiend storyline so far?
I like it. I'm loving that they haven't even brought the Fiend anywhere in sight yet. Let's see what's happening to Alexa. Let's see why she keeps snapping when everyone says the Fiend. So I'm all for it. I mean, hopefully they don't mess it up, but it's good. It's good shit so far.
Such good shit. Over on Monday Night Raw, as Top Guy JJ brought up before, Randy Orton pulls a Splinter Cell with night vision goggles, attacking the Legends Lounge in darkness.
The only best thing on that show that day.
Top Guy JJ, what was your thoughts on the memeable entrance of Randy Orton into the Legends Lounge with the Splinter Cell night vision goggles?
I played this video game back for PlayStation 1 called Siphon Filter, and I literally just saw this funny looking guy in a janitor suit going to infiltrate this little room.
Not infiltrate.
Basically, he went in disguise. He had the janitor suit on. He had a hoodie on, so he went in undetected until he went in there and just surprise. Put on the
Ghostbuster glasses.
Put on those infrared. Put on those night vision goggles. Hit the lights. Washed everybody in the room, and then puts his hoodie on, and then ends the show.
Oh no! He shows them where he shows the people to go into the room, and then leaves.
Oh, he's pointing. He's
like
pointing with his head down, like go help, help them.
Don't help them. Yes, they need your help.
The old guys need help. The old guys need help. And then he walks up the show in Raw, and it's so bad, it's funny. It's so bad, it's funny. It's like, but the only thing that I got out of it is that I love that they're keeping Randy Orton strong, because now this is gonna culminate in Hell in a Cell, which Randy Orton will finally win his championship and get Drew McIntyre out of this title picture, which is something that is relieving because he's had a great run. But Randy Orton has got to get rewarded for an amazing 2020 with at least one title run.
Eventually, like.
I agree with you. Drew McIntyre continued his dominant run as WWE champion when he had an open challenge on Raw in the main event. Robert Roode was the one who answered the challenge, returning to Monday Night Raw in a
Well,
loss.
no one helped with Zolf.
Well, they had to explain him getting the shot, so I'll accept it. It made more sense than the other segment from Monday Night Raw we got to talk about, which was Aaliyah texting Murphy and helped Murphy defeat her brother Dominic Mysterio after the Mysterio family was on the King's Court, and they talked about the whole
of all shows to have on the show, they have him on a King's Court. Wow.
They had to talk about the relationship between 19-year-old Aaliyah Mysterio and 31-year-old Murphy. What are your thoughts on this convoluted storyline, Miss Krssi Luv?
First of all, once I seen the family come out and they started talking, I immediately had to change the channel because I was like, I cannot. I will not be a part of foolishness that is right now. First mistake, you put them on a King's Court with Jerry the King Lawler. That was your first mistake right there. Second mistake, you had the mom and daughter come out. Mom is just standing there. She don't say nothing. She's just like, but what? Mijo, no. If he say me, if I have to hear Rey Mysterio say Mijo one more fucking time, I'm gonna lose my shit because this shit. Like I'm gonna drink with what's the drunk guy JJ?
He was drinking some fucking syrup, whatever.
He had to because every segment was horrible.
That shit was. The shit was sticking to the cup. I was like, what the fuck is that? That's the only way you could tolerate Raw is by drinking that shit. Whatever that was.
It's to the point now, like I don't even want to watch Murphy and Dominic fight. Like I'm tired of seeing them fight. Like, and then Homegirl came out. I'm like, what in the? And mind you, I had it muted. I had it on the side. I'm just gonna watch the football game. Well, no, it was a basketball game on that night. I was like, I'm not gonna subject myself and watch. And I had to watch football because it was like, I can't keep watching this stuff. Like this is hard. Like this is bad. This is beyond bad. Now, if you can please tell me what's the dynamics to the storyline, I will wait. But other than this, like I feel bad for Murphy because Murphy is a great wrestler. He got to do all like. Why do I keep fighting Dominic for?
I mean, the bright side here is that the Murphy-Seth Rollins matchups will be great. I'm pretty sure if they just give them a match, that will be great. But the storyline,
it's cringing. It's cringing.
The whole scenario. The only positive of this whole scenario is that it is finally given Murphy programs.
Yes, that's the only thing.
Only positive out of this. Other than that, I would have turned the question right over to either one of you and be like, so what is the end game out of this story?
Right. So is she gonna like marry Buddy Murphy? Murphy, excuse me.
Aaliyah.
Is Aaliyah gonna be like his girlfriend now?
Like, really?
This is supposed to be like their take on Romeo and Juliet, I guess. And Aaliyah, we had Aaliyah slap Dominic. Aaliyah was good the first week. This week was just
like her on a mic. She can't talk. No, I'm sorry, Mijo. No, sweetheart.
How dare you, SP, start off the show with such high notes, with such amazing wrestling, and then we gotta fucking talk about Raw?
I just go through what we missed. We also missed on Raw. Ali returned to Monday Night Raw, defeating Hurt Business along with Ricochet and Apollo Crews. And then over on NXT UK, we had Kaylee Ray defeat Piper Niven despite an injured knee to successfully defend the NXT UK Women's Championship. Walter had his first matchup in 6 months, getting the victory as well. on NWA UWN Primetime Live, we had Trevor Murdoch defeat Aaron Stevens to become the new NWA National Champion, as well as Allison Kay defeat Nicole Savoy. And then finally, we had Impact Wrestling with the North defeating Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, and Good Brothers defeating the Rascals to set up a fatal four-way tag team title match at Bound for Glory between Ace Austin and Fulton, the North, the Good Brothers, and the Motor City Machine Guns, which I am sure is going to be a great match. We had Impact and Access TV announce the Impact Week, which will be a whole lead up to Bound for Glory in a few weeks' time. It's going to have specials like Talk and Shop on Access TV, so that's going to be really cool. We had Ken Shamrock return this week on Impact Wrestling, and he revealed that he attacked Eddie Edwards last week under the influence of Sammy Callahan.
Man. Ken Shamrock is going to be on 2 Bound for Glories in a row?
Yes, he is.
What the fuck?
And he's heel. He's heel now.
Yo, I swear I'm loving Impact, yo. I'm loving what I'm hearing out of Impact. But Ken, yo, stop with this Ken Shamrock shit.
He's heel now, though.
All right, sorry to interrupt.
Hey, we'll have more news on Ken Shamrock shortly when we get to the news portion. But speaking of the news portion,
look at his face.
we're going to talk about the top
My face
news.
hurts.
You see his performance last year, and then now you're gonna add a year to his body? Like, come on, bro! Like, stop it!
He didn't
Just
die
stop!
he didn't die last year, so you're okay. But
They keep letting Rob Van Dam fight, so what's the difference?
we'll have news on that as well.
Krssi,
But the
add
top
it.
news, the top news is Harold May is out as New Japan president. Prior to night 6 of the G1 Climax 30, New Japan Pro Wrestling announced that president and CEO of the company, Harold May, resigned.
I'm about to say, did he get fired like Doc Rivers?
No, he didn't get fired.
Okay, he has
Doc
stepped down. Okay,
Rivers. This comes off the heels of him having a meeting with the board of directors from Victory Road, their parent company. Wrestling Observer Radio was one of the first places to break this news, and according to Dave Meltzer, May's major goal was to get New Japan Pro Wrestling up to $100 million in revenue by the end of 2020, which would have been impossible for the promotion to reach without a major American broadcast TV deal. Previously,
Right.
New Japan Pro Wrestling had a broadcast TV deal in the U.S. with Access TV. However, that was way gone after Impact Wrestling parent company Anthem Entertainment purchased Access TV last year, and other promotions such as WOW were phased off of the network. Of course, obtaining a new TV deal in the U.S. would have been difficult after losing big stars like Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and the Young Bucks. According to Fightful Select, the wrestlers in New Japan were also skeptical of May's plans for the company. One longtime star said that they never completely bought into May's plan, and they had hoped that he would be more proactive in cultivating relationships around. Another said that they would have needed more time due to the pandemic for his goals to be achieved, and they added that they hadn't seen it happening even in the months before, after May had already been in charge for 2 years, since May of 2018. The current CEO of New Japan Pro Wrestling of America, Takahami Obari, will be replacing Harold May as president and CEO. What are you guys' thoughts on Harold May stepping down from his position, and what do you think is the future for New Japan? We'll start with you, Top Guy JJ.
So I think I'm going to kind of retort that with a question. So is there a contingency plan in place for his step down? Is there somebody that's going to step into that role that he might have been mentoring maybe?
So this is another section of Top Guy JJ did not listen to a word I just said, because I literally ended that whole thing with the current CEO of New Japan Pro Wrestling of America, Takahami Obari, will be replacing him as president. That was my final sentence about that whole thing.
Person that has under the mentorship.
Huh?
Is that the person that has been under like the mentorship, like the direct mentorship?
He is the current CEO of New Japan Pro Wrestling of America. That means that he's been in that position prior to getting this position.
Listen, when it comes to these head people, I don't know who the fuck they are. So I don't know who they are. So it's like, yo, you telling anybody across Japan, like, yo, Vince McMahon is stepping down, and then whoever Kevin Dunn is about to take over or some shit. Like, I don't know who the fuck these people are, so I'm asking these questions. I'm curious. Shit. I ain't afraid to not know who they are. When I read that name, I was like, who the hell is that? I don't know who he is.
But you literally just said Kevin Dunn is replacing him. Yeah, he may not know him, but you wouldn't be asking, so who's replacing him if you just said Kevin Dunn is replacing him?
Now, that's the American side. I don't know anything about that side.
So he resigned because he didn't do his job. He didn't get the job done. Is that what happened?
From what's been reported is that he had a goal for the $100 million in revenue, which would have not been possible due to this whole pandemic. And
right. So why step down? It's not your fault. We had a whole we're still going through it.
I think that he didn't have, from what has been reported, he didn't have the belief within the company that he would be able to achieve it, even if there wasn't a global pandemic, because he's already been in power for over 2 years. So I think that he basically stepped down because his goal was unachievable, whether there was a pandemic or not.
That's just weird. Like, I mean, to step down during a year like this. And New Japan is actually one of the frontline people to actually get fans back in the stand. They got fans back in their shows. It looks safe. They're doing the right thing.
So they can't talk, so they have to clap, right? Is that what that meant?
Yes.
That's why they was clapping. Got it.
They're doing things. They're doing things well. I don't know if they're not selling merch or if they're not selling enough, if they're not having enough revenue being brought in, but it just kind of feels weird. This whole thing just feels weird when people step down from prime positions like that, when it's literally out of their control. Not during 2020. Like,
so yeah, that just keeps on giving.
Resign then when shit is a little bit more normal, when you might get a projection and some real forecasts. But right now, to do that now, it's just mind-boggling. It's really just confusing to me, because it's like you're kind of taking accountability for something that you don't really have control of.
Well, I think it's more or less because he was brought in. He's the first non-Japanese guy to kind of be the head of the promotion. And, 3 years ago when New Japan really got a buzz here in the United States, right. You would think that they would be cultivating and going more into the United States, that by now they would have a major U.S., broadcast partner. And Harold Mays has never been really focused on that. He's never been about spreading the wealth throughout, the United States. And I feel like he never really properly responded to losing the members of the Elite 2 years ago, because they left, a year and a half ago now. But, they haven't really established that many stars to kind of replace them. They have a Will Ospreay, they have a Jay White, but after that, when it comes to Gaijin stars, they really haven't got those stars in place. So he's never been focused on that. He's never been important about that. And I think that Takanami Obari, who's already been trying to build it up in the United States, is probably going to be the better person for that position. He's a Japanese guy, so a Japanese guy is back in control of the promotion, but he's also fluent in English. So I think he's the bridge that can kind of make it better than Harold Maiden.
I just don't think this is a dynamic for that type of dialogue to even be taking place right now, honestly, because even if because remember, I think this is a bunch of Tru Heel Heats ago, we were talking about New Japan doing a lot of shows here in the States. If they do a lot of shows here in the States, that number was going to increase drastically. And I wasn't even that big of a fan of it, because I was like, that's too many shows. I would still stand by that now, especially even more so now, because if they try to expand their fanship to over here, they're going to end up losing money, because they're going to try to rent buildings that they can't put no one in. So it's too difficult right now. Like, they're actually able to make something over there. They wouldn't make shit over here because they can't put nobody in their buildings.
It's too difficult.
I wasn't even talking about making more U.S. dates. I'm talking about U.S. stars, and that's why them signing guys like Jeff Cobb is very important. Them furthering the push for Will Ospreay, Jay White.
Those guys were restricted for God knows how. They were restricted for so long. So it's like you got to meet the restrictions. You got to, like, if they travel somewhere, like if they went to anywhere outside of Japan now, they have to essentially run shows in that state for 2 weeks. Then they have to come back there and then run. The dynamic is just way too hard. It's way too hard. There's too many gray areas, and I just think that this is the wrong time for anybody to step down or take accountability for something that you're really not in control of. You don't control the states. You don't control the finances or the allowance of what each of these states, if you would have tried to expand your fanship anywhere. Like, all right, you're signing American stars. Great. We can't fucking see them.
Well, I think it's more about trying to sign those American stars and then translate that into a broadcast U.S. deal, which AEW has kind of set it all in place by being successful even during the pandemic. Like, we'll talk about a little bit how the executives for Warner Media have already been praising AEW for how they've adapted throughout these crazy circumstances.
They're an American-based company. They have 90% of their roster, 95% of their roster is American-bred talent. Like, it's so much. And then they're the mega stars that you just talked about that deported from there are at the brand that we're watching. So it was an easy transition for us to be able to adapt to that. And you're trying to now, like, AEW can't expand. They're not going to try to expand. They're not stupid. They're staying put. They can't go nowhere. They really can't go nowhere. So they have a place where they can actually allow 10% of people to come in there.
No, but you're not understanding what I'm saying. Is the success of AEW will lead to other networks wanting professional wrestling because AEW has been successful. The AEW is a taken commodity. Warner Media has AEW, but because of their success in professional wrestling, because of WWE's success on television, other networks will want professional wrestling. And New Japan Pro Wrestling is the top promotion that doesn't have a U.S. deal. So I think that their success can translate to success for New Japan Pro Wrestling.
No, and totally understand that. But now when you're talking about bringing trying to get New Japan to get an American-based audience, we've seen all of these guys in AEW. There's a different connection for us when it comes to seeing Japan stars and U.S. stars. We connected with all of these guys because we've seen them all. We haven't seen these guys from New Japan maybe once or twice, except for on the TV screen. So that's
the whole point. I'm not talking about them coming to a show. I'm talking about watching them on TV. That's what I'm trying to say.
But seeing them in person generates interest for us to see them on TV. It created there's something there that when you actually
the one thing that I hear from most New Japan fans here in the United States is they don't watch New Japan because it's not easily accessible. They don't want to spend the $10 a month to get New Japan World. And when it was on Access TV, they got a lot of eyes on the promotion. That's how Kenny Omega became well known here in the United States and made people want to go out and see him when he was live here. So it's all about that transition. We got to move on more on the effects of the virus on WWE programming.
My God.
Following the latest outbreak of the virus that we discussed on Tru Heel Heat 93.
You have like an on-staff person to get these things. Like, I don't understand this. Like, happened once, okay, fine. Twice. This is like this is like our third, fourth time talking about him fucking this shit up.
No. We're talking about the outbreak that we spoke about on Tru Heel Heat 93.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. My bad. I was about to go in. Like, I was about to say, what?
The latest outcome from this was some talent being held off of SmackDown, Clash of Champions, and Monday Night Raw this past week. Nikki Cross was pulled from SmackDown and Clash of Champions due to coming in contact with someone with the virus, most likely her husband, Killian Dane, who was not on NXT this week. WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Shayna Baszler.
Oh, really? What? Her husband is Killian Dane?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Go ahead, Nikki.
Like, there's interesting nuggets that we don't know. Like, everybody knows that, but people don't know shit like that.
Right. Okay, boo. Okay, continue. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax were also pulled from the Clash of Champions pay-per-view as well. Those two.
Shane is expected.
No. That was just
He's trying.
That was a ruse.
That was them trolling each other on Twitter. Those two did confirm that they were both healthy and not sick. All of the 5 major members of Retribution.
By Nia, by the way.
Huh?
I love that message by Nia. She said her partner is expected. I love that.
Well,
ain't shit, yo.
It's Shayna Baszler, so that was I wasn't believing that.
I'm about to say she doesn't look like she's the one that's going to carry the baby now. But anywho,
all of the 5 major members of Retribution were also pulled from the Clash of Champions and Raw due to being in contact with the extra members of Retribution who were from NXT. All 5 members have been confirmed tested negative for the virus. Everyone pulled from the shows will be doing a 2-week quarantine due to reduce the spread of the outbreak. And Raw Underground was also pulled from Raw this week completely due to members of NXT being used for the matches and in the crowd. So what are your guys' thoughts on the virus once again affecting WWE television? Miss Krssi Luv?
I don't understand why we have this huge company and we don't have these people being tested every day. I don't understand why we can't have on staff. You got all these people that you employ, but we can't get COVID tests done on a regular for these people. I don't understand.
They do that now. They do test it, but there was apparently a coach in NXT who spread it. That's what we talked about on Tru Heel Heat 93. He spread it unbeknownst.
Don't try to save them, SP. It's fine. Don't worry. I know your wife is, she's got plugs in the company. It's fine. I get all of that. Miss Tia is cool. However, stop making excuses for foolishness, for bullshit.
In the words of our good friend Romeo Anthony Colon, I just report the news. That's all.
Okay, all right. Well, then report the news. I still call bullshit when I see bullshit. Go ahead, friend.
I love you. Chain gang.
Shout out to Tia. I love her.
Do you believe that missing the next 2 weeks of TV will affect the future of the Retribution angle? And more importantly, Raw.
There is no angle for Retribution. It's all trash. No one. I'm happy they wasn't even on there. To be honest, guess what? They got contracts and they got benched like every other person that got a contract at WWE. Benched. You know how they like RJ Smith? They're gonna be. That's his name, right? He gonna win a championship for doing nothing. You're gonna be on the big team. That's you know who I'm talking about. J.R. Smith. You know who I'm talking about.
You are the poison of Tru Heel Heat. You are doing this of greed and not for the love of the company. We are rid of all the poison from Tru Heel Heat, starting with you, Miss.
Stop! My face hurts. Stop! and poor SP, he can't even laugh because the kid's asleep. Poor thing over there, he gotta hold it in.
And this message was approved by Keller.
and Slapnuts, whatever that person's name is.
Slapnuts and Base.
And Krssi, I was asking JJ this. What do you think? It's going to affect the Retribution angle. And
there is no angle.
I hope this makes them realize that Retribution is ruining Monday Night Raw.
Hey, they're awesome on Twitter.
Are they really?
Yes, they are.
Who's the Twitter handler? Who's in control of them?
T-Bar.
What they're awesome on, they make their appearances, 7 of them on TV, and ruins my entire interest. I literally saw 2 segments of Raw and did not care that I missed the rest of the 3 hours because I was afraid I was going to see fucking Retribution on there.
With the half Bane mask.
Retribution is the worst thing on TV on any wrestling show.
They might as well talk. Hello.
Any wrestling show. This is worse
Can you hear me?
Worse than anything on AEW Dark, worse than anything on Power, worse than anything on TNA or Impact or whatever the fuck you want to call them. This is worse than ROH, and they're not even back yet.
Worse than Ken Shamrock?
Yes, this is worse than Ken Shamrock. Retribution is the worst thing on television, and it's not even fucking close. I can't even laugh at them. They're so fucking bad.
Hey, all I can tell you is that if they let T-Bar's Twitter game on television, it would be the best thing in WWE right now.
I'm gonna go look at it as soon as we get off this podcast. If it's so good, I'm gonna go find out.
Chris Jericho criticized Retribution, and he clapped back at Jericho and said "huh," and then had the post about Jericho having the Fozzy concert at Sturgis that had 250,000 people test positive for the virus. Then Eric Bischoff criticized the Retribution angle, calling it stupid, and he clapped back at him and he says, Eric Bischoff, we hope to be like you one day, being able to destroy a multi-million-dollar company with ease.
Wow.
T-Bar's clapback game is impeccable. It's immaculate. So hopefully we get some of that on TV.
Clap back to promos on Raw and not make your own segments.
Hey, he can't write it for Raw. He can write it on Twitter. All right. So it is time for a lot of your guys' favorite time of the week. This is where we talk about the Wednesday Night Wars for AEW and WWE NXT. We give you the ratings for each show. We tell you what happened, and then we let you know what we thought was the better show for the week. If you don't like our opinion, you can always watch Wednesday Night Warriors with the good brothers Chris G, Mary Jane, and Romeo Anthony Colon, where they break down each segment by segment back to back, and they let you know what was the better show for the week. And you can also vote on that on the Tru Heel's group page. You can vote which show you thought was better for the week. But
just let us know in the goddamn comments. Like the fuck, like we'll get definitely clap back in the comments.
We got plenty of people like Kayfabe Tactics that doesn't watch either show, and he just watches us to find out what we thought was the better show. So but Top Guy JJ is right. Let us know in the comments what you thought was the better show. Miss Krssi Luv, hit the drums. So for week 48 of the Wednesday Night War, WWE NXT comes in with 732,000 viewers.
That is like 9 and some change.
That is up from last week. And AEW Dynamite comes in with 866,000 viewers, which is also up from last week, up against very hard competition with MLB playoffs and the NBA finals, and South Park Pandemic Special. So
don't even start on that. Don't even start on that. That should be a whole nother podcast.
I would say I have it on my DVR. I'm sure it was a hot mess, yo.
Oh my God!
A lot of competition. WWE NXT had the Garganos get the victory in the main event over Damian Priest and Io Shirai to stand tall.
Mary Morgan.
To stand tall over their opponents to end the show. A great Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly face-to-face with HBK, as well as an excellent prime target featuring O'Reilly as the number 1 contender. We had Adam Cole defeat Austin Theory after Theory talked trash about Kyle O'Reilly, and Shotzi Blackheart defeated Dakota Kai in the opener. Very hard-hitting affair with one of the scariest bumps I've seen in quite some time. AEW,
Austin Theory can't get no love.
He doesn't deserve any. AEW.
I mean, all right, fine.
No, wait,
go ahead, carry on. No.
We've interviewed Austin Theory, so shouts out to him. But some of his actions, less we talk about. AEW Dynamite had Jon Moxley defeat the hand-picked opponent of Eddie Kingston, the Butcher, in the main event to defend the AEW World Title. We had FTR defeat SCU to successfully defend the AEW World Tag Team titles in the Brush with Greatness 20-minute time limit in a great TV tag team match. Darby Allin defeated Ricky Starks in a very exciting, well-built opener. We had the Young Bucks super kick Tony Schiavone to further their new attitude. Britt Baker returned and beat Red Velvet. We had MJF and Chris Jericho have another tease of MJF potentially joining the Inner Circle, with Max giving the members of the group Nerds clothing jackets. Shouts out to our friends at Nerds Clothing. We hope to get our jackets soon. And he gave everyone a jacket except for Sammy Guevara, and an eight-man tournament is announced with the finals at Full Gear, featuring Jungle Boy, Ray Phoenix, and Kenny Omega, to the surprise of Hangman Page, who spit out his whiskey at the commentary table. So we will start with the Top Guy JJ this week. What was the better show for the week for you?
You know what? This again was another close week. Like, both shows. I think both shows delivered this week. I think both shows were pretty solid. Like, I think that NXT has what I think I've been looking for weeks now. There was some meat with NXT. There was something in there besides just matches. And the fact that I think I'm probably going to be biased yet again, because when I'm telling you I'm in love with this Kyle O'Reilly story, like, I'm in love with this shit. No matter where it goes, no matter how, like, I just love the spotlight being on Kyle O'Reilly right now because he's fucking delivering. NXT was good to me. NXT was good this week, and so was AEW. If I have to give the slight edge to something, I am probably going to give the slight edge to AEW this week, because AEW's matches were like a million times better than NXT's. Like, the best match on NXT to me was the Adam Cole Theory match. Like, that shit was really good. But NXT had meat with some pretty okay matches, and AEW had both. Like, they had some fantastic matches. I absolutely loved the Isaiah and Jericho match. That shit was really good too. AEW just, I felt, delivered their first real complete show in a couple of weeks, and I loved it. Like, I love both shows, but I would give the slightest to AEW this week, even though NXT came through. NXT put on a damn good show this week, but I'll give the slightest to AEW because, like you said, that 20-minute brush of greatness was fucking amazing, and that main event was so much better than the NXT main event.
True.
Miss Krssi Luv?
I have to agree with everything JJ said because both shows were good. They didn't disappoint. But if I have to pick one, I was more engaged in the matches that were happening on AEW, where I was still like in the salad, but I needed more sauce for NXT, if that makes sense. So I'm picking AEW for this week's.
I'm going to make it unanimous, and I'm going to go with AEW. I agree with Top Guy JJ. Both shows were really strong this week, but AEW had 3 really good matches with Darby Allin versus Ricky Starks. I thought that was an exciting opener, a hot way to start the show. Isaiah Cassidy in only his second singles match of his entire career.
And he was off, and it was
Chris Jericho. Yes, he was great, pulling out the Lion Salt and the Code Breaker against Jericho, and Jericho with a great reversal into the Judas Effect. Yeah.
Can we just say that Ricky Starks is just like, he's so young, but also his second match is against the greatest.
Isaiah Cassidy.
Yeah, him, that guy.
Yeah.
Isaiah. It's against Chris Jericho. Like, no one can really put that on their resume.
And I'll say it on record right now, this is Jericho's best match since his first match with Orange Cassidy.
A lot of people thought it was better than a lot of the Orange Cassidy
match. I can definitely agree with that.
I did put on Twitter that Jericho hates people with the last name Cassidy. That's what I got from the gist of that. And the best match of the show was definitely SCU versus FTR. That was just a great tag team match, and it reminded you how great SCU is. And Kazarian may be the most underrated guy in AEW, between that match 2 weeks ago with Hangman Page and this match here where he was really the glue of the matchup. Scorpio Sky was highlighted very well because he's one of the great hot tags in AEW, but Kazarian just holds matches together, and I love the reversal of the old Road Warrior Animal, reversing the Doomsday device with the running power slam on He was on Cash's shoulders. That was just great. Just great stuff from them. And I love the Jericho MJF stuff. I love their chemistry. Their chemistry together just make a whole show even better. And they did this week, so I give it to AEW.
Yep.
Do you want me to do Tru Heel Heat 95?
Do you want to do Tru Heel Heat 95?
I asked you a question. Answer the damn question. Do you want me to be on Tru Heel Heat 95?
Do you want to do Tru Heel Heat 95?
Krssi, can you be the tiebreaker? Do you want me on Tru Heel Heat 95? It's fucking great.
Yes.
He's not supposed to answer. It's fucking great, yo. I love yo. They got such dickheads, yo. I love them, yo.
They're just great together, honestly. WWE news, we move on. According to PW Insider, the plan moving forward is that Adam Cole and Keller Rowley will be babyfaces on NXT, while Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong will be heels. So we will see what happens with Undisputed Era after TakeOver 31.
Oh my God, no, I'm not ready.
I like that. That's a nice change.
It's going to be interesting.
I'm so afraid. I don't know. Oh my God.
WWE also
I need a drink.
WWE also announces that the draft will kick off on WWE SmackDown on October 9th and ends on Raw on October 12th. Triple H confirms on his TakeOver 31 that he is not aware of any plans for NXT talent to be called up. So we will see, and we'll have a little preview of the WWE draft on next.
There is no NXT call-ups because they're all in Retribution.
Well, there's probably going to be more.
Yeah, and then it gets the Keith Lee one too, you know?
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah, that one's so fantastic, you know? He went to a singlet now, you know?
It's so bad.
Upgrading. Our good friend of the podcast, James Storm, reveals to Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet that he was scheduled to sign with WWE prior to the pandemic. So James Storm could have been in WWE. We could have saw beer money. I would love that. Our tribal chief, your tribal chief, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns shoots on CM Punk, saying that he doesn't like him and doesn't know too many people that do like him. He also implies that Punk's comments in 2014 on the Cole Cabana podcast affected his reception from the fans. Speaking of Roman, he revealed on After the Bell podcast with Corey Graves that he would not be back if more WWE superstars would have stepped up in his time away from the company. He praised Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, and Drew McIntyre as people who have stepped up, but more new stars needed to if he was going to stay at home. And WrestleVotes says that the rumored main event for Hell in a Cell on October 25th will be Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
What? Already?
Yes.
Damn.
Already. John Cena reveals on Jimmy Fallon show.
Yo, they can suck a fat one, yo.
Okay.
Like, come on, man. Like, you gonna waste that shit on a Hell in a Cell fucking pay-per-view that no one is gonna remember?
And it better be in a Hell in a Cell.
Like, yo, we remember Hell in a Cell being fucking main evented by Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Oh, my bad. Charlotte, was it Charlotte and Sasha? Charlotte and Sasha. My bad. I apologize.
He's excited.
Again? Go ahead, move on.
Okay. John Cena confirms on the Jimmy Fallon show that his WWE career is not over. And finally, SmackDown drew over 2 million viewers for the go-home show to the Clash of Champions.
Nice.
And Raw was up 9 point. The Roman effect. Raw was up 9.5% in viewers, averaging 1.822 million viewers up against Monday Night Football. AEW News, Warner Media executives praised Dynamite ahead of their 1-year anniversary in a Variety article, crediting them for their ability to continue storylines during the pandemic. And speaking to GameStop, Kenny Omega says that the AEW video game is in development. Anybody excited for the AEW video game?
Fuck no.
Damn, okay. Sheesh.
Actually, wait, pause. Do you know did they say anything about who the developer is?
We don't know yet.
That is literally the selling point to how excited you should be for this game. They need THQ. If their THQ is not behind this game, fuck this game.
We shall see. And New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Not just nuggets of information for the kids, Krssi, because dang, you don't want to waste no $60 on some trash.
Trust me, will not.
According to Super J Cast podcast, New Japan Pro Wrestling may be running both the Best of the Super Juniors tournament and the World Tag League on the same tour. This is going to follow the G1 Climax. Impact Wrestling news, and this is a big one. The Rock agrees to take part in Ken Shamrock's Impact Hall of Fame induction video after Shamrock asks him on Twitter. The Rock will be on Impact Wrestling due to this. So what's your thoughts on that, Top Guy JJ?
I think it's cool. I think it's pretty cool. Listen, he's probably going to be the narrator of his story. Like, he's going to run through his story. He's probably going to narrate it. I mean, rightfully so. They have a very, very deep connection when it comes to Ken Shamrock's WWF career. So it's rightfully so that this happens. And obviously somebody to highlight it. So I like shit like this. I don't dislike Ken Shamrock. I just dislike him being on fucking Bound for Glory. But I think this is a great thing. This is really, really cool. This is a monumental thing for Impact Wrestling, though. To even get The Rock's voice on their programming is fucking huge. So this is a big step. I mean, Impact has been going places. So to get this under their belt, they need to social media the fuck out of this narration. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. This shit needs to be on everything.
It will be. Trust and believe. It will be.
Sure it will. And then our final wrestling notes here, we have Billy Corgan of NWA confirms that NWA Power will be returning very, very soon. NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldous hits 700-day milestone this week, so congratulations to him. And Fightful Select confirms that recent Major League Wrestling contracts prevent their stars from working with AEW after guys like MJF and Joey Janela worked for both companies last year, and Brian Pillman Jr. has been appearing on AEW Dark most recently. Now MLW is offering contracts that refuse for you to work with AEW. So very interesting update right there. So we got to move on finally to our preview and predictions for this coming week. And we start off with Impact Victory Road. This is the last stop before Bound for Glory, the last big show on Impact Plus before the biggest show of the year for Impact Wrestling. They're going to have the Defeat Rohit Challenge, where Rohit Raju, the X Division champion, makes an open challenge to anyone on the roster. We're going to have Top Guy JJ's favorite, Tennille Dashwood, going one-on-one with Jordan Grace. Top Guy JJ, should I even ask who you got in this one?
Fuck no.
Okay. Miss Krssi Luv.
All the way.
Miss Krssi Luv, Tennille versus Jordan Grace. Who you got?
Jordan Grace.
I agree with you. I'm going with Jordan Grace as well.
I'm gonna fuck if I take the L on this one. It's Bay in this match, nigga.
Brian Myers, aka the former Kurt Hawkins, will go one-on-one with his trainer, Tommy Dreamer, one-on-one. I'm gonna go with Brian Myers in this one. Who you got, Miss Krssi Luv?
I will agree with you with Brian.
Who you got, Top Guy JJ?
I have no idea who the fuck Brian Myers is, but I know Tommy.
I just said aka the former Kurt Hawkins.
Oh God,
that's his new name, friend.
Tommy Dreamer's gotta put. I'm drinking. Tommy Dreamer's gotta put over Kurt. Oh God. Damn, Tommy.
Well, I mean, he got kids, so he got he got to.
Tommy's a team player. He's still taking the L.
I'm shaking my head because you viewers at home know how annoyed I am that I have to repeat myself 100 times.
Like a kid, don't just prepare yourselves. I mean, you got twins. You should know what this is about, friend.
He does prepare me for that. He does.
What?
Fatal four-way matchup. We're going to have a preview of the tag team title matchup, Bound for Glory here, as it's going to be Alex Shelley of the Motor City Machine Guns versus the inevitable Ace Austin versus the Norse Josh Alexander versus the Good Brothers Carl Anderson. So who you got? Fatal four-way, Shelley, Austin, Alexander, or Anderson? A lot of A's there. Who you got? Top Guy JJ.
Oh man, I mean, can Alex Shelley finally get some love?
No.
Like, I
He's
mean,
one half of the tag team champion, so he is getting love.
I'm gonna still go with Alex Shelley.
Fair enough.
Anderson for the win.
I'm gonna go with Ace Austin here. I think Ace Austin needs some love right now because he's been taking a couple of L's lately.
That's funny because we've all had different answers for that one.
Yes, I like it.
Oh wow.
Unsanctioned matchup is gonna be Rhino and Heath. Yes, the artist formerly known as Heath Slater versus Reno Scum. Heath is still looking to get his contract with Impact Wrestling. His Heath for Impact segments have been on the money. He had Flavor Flav, David Hasselhoff, and the only Chuck Norris endorse him on Impact Wrestling most recently.
What?
Yes. So
how much did they pay these people?
Well, Cameo is probably charging like $100 a pop, so I don't know.
Bless you.
Who you got, Miss Krssi Luv?
Hawkins.
What you mean, Heath?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Heath. Sorry, my bad.
Can you get on Krssi now?
It's still an age. It's still an age. I just heard the wrong name.
Wrestler.
Sorry, Heath.
You got Rhino and Heath versus Reno Scum, JJ.
I mean, I can't go against somebody that got kids. You know, I can't go against somebody that got kids. And
you gotta feed them.
Heath exited WWE on some flames, and I hope that continues with his Impact run.
Right.
We shall see Impact Knockouts Championship.
You guys let us know.
Well, Impact Knockouts Championship is on the line. Deonna Purrazzo will verse the best friend of Kylie Ray, Susie. Susie is the alter ego of Su Yung.
Look at his face.
Susie is the alter ego of Su Yung. We don't know if Su Yung will make her presence known in this one, but who you got, Deonna versus Susie? We'll start with you, Krssi.
Deonna.
Top Guy JJ.
Gonna be a sweep. I mean, this is Deonna, man. What the fuck is Susie? What the hell?
Well, Deanna's going to get the win because Kylie Ray needs to get the victory at Bound for Glory. And then finally, Impact World title is on the line. Eric Young will defend against the former champion, Eddie Edwards. Who you got, JJ?
Oh, man. EY is still a champ, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna say that EY is gonna keep this title to Bound for Glory. So I'm gonna go with EY retaining. Probably on some dirty shit. Definitely on some dirty shit. But I think EY is gonna retain.
Krssi Luv.
Kingston.
Who?
Eddie Kingston.
Who?
Wrong promotion.
That's what you just said.
Eddie
Edwards. Oh my God.
Yo. Back-to-back matches, bro. And if this would have been me, you would have been giving me the.
Oh my God, my face hurts so much.
You're in a whole other company.
Oh my God, my face hurts.
Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Edwards, I'm so sorry.
I can't breathe.
No, this is how you know. This is how you know that SP has taken poison on you.
Oh man, I'm just gonna run through the card, and I'm gonna ask you guys the top matches for this coming week.
Oh my God,
the G1. October 5th, you got Shingo versus Yujiro. You got Cobb versus Jay White. Okada versus Suzuki. Ishii versus Taishi. And let's get your prediction, guys, for Kota Ibushi versus Will Ospreay. Who you got? Krssi Luv. Ibushi versus Ospreay.
Will Ospreay.
Top Guy JJ.
This might be the match of the fucking climax right here. Fuck. This is going to be a big one. This is going to be big. I do think that Will Ospreay continues his redemption run. I think he continues it. I think he pulls off a really big win.
And what belts does he have?
He has the British Heavyweight Championship.
That don't have nothing to do with New Japan.
Well, he defends it in New Japan, but it's for.
But no, it's from a different promotion. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay,
yes.
Thanks. Okay. They have great, nice belts, by the way. I just wanted to say.
I'm gonna go with Ospreay as well here.
Sweet.
Bushi can afford a loss there. We got on October 6th, B Block action in Hiroshima. You got Goto versus Yano. You got Sanada versus ZSJ. You got Juice versus Evil. Naito versus Yoshihashi. And this is a big one. Tanahashi versus Kenta. Who you got? Top guy JJ. Tanahashi versus Kenta.
Damn.
Ooh, damn, and I just gave Kenta some praise, too. So Kenta is going up against Tanahashi. This is a big one here. This is actually a big one. I don't
know.
I think Kenta pulls the major upset right here. I think this is the biggest win in Kenta's time in New Japan. This is a huge chance for Kenta. I think Kenta pulls off the upset.
He did defeat him last year in the G1, but I am going to say Kenta gets back-to-back victories over Tanahashi as well. Who you got, Krssi?
I'm going to agree and go Kenta.
On October 7th, they are back in Hiroshima. You got Ishii versus Yujiro, Okada versus Cobb, Ospreay versus Suzuki, first time ever, Taishi versus Jay White, and the big one, the main event, is Shingo Takagi versus Kota Ibushi. Who do you got, Miss Krssi Luv, Ibushi versus Shingo?
Ibushi.
Top guy JJ.
This is going to be great. This is going to be fucking great. But I do think Ibushi gets the W on this match.
First time ever.
How the fuck is Ibushi going to survive this week? What the fuck?
I am going to go with Ibushi here in this one as well over Shingo. And then finally, October 8th in Okayama, we're going to see Goto versus Yoshihashi, Yano versus ZSJ, Sanada versus Kenta. That's going to be a really good one. Juice versus Naito. And the main event is going to be Tanahashi versus Evil. I am going to go with Tanahashi in this one. Who do you got, Miss Krssi Luv?
I'm sorry, you said Evil and Tanahashi?
Yes.
Damn. It's so funny that I can like now put faces to names, which is pretty kind of awesome. I'm Tanahashi.
About time.
Side eye friend.
JJ?
I've been calling Tanahashi to lose a lot of matches in this tournament.
So he needs to win something.
I think he's gonna put Evil over on this one.
Ooh,
makes sense.
Slide continue. I think he has a tough climax.
You
can't get it up, bro.
We've all been there. The last big event of the week is, of course, NXT Takeover 31, one of the most rushed takeovers of all time.
Okay, so it's not just me. Okay, I'm like, wait, how did Takeover even come? Like, why is it even like? But they did that with almost the last Takeover too, though.
Not really, because we knew it was coming SummerSlam weekend.
But okay, well, the one before that one, then whatever.
Yeah, it's coming. It happened.
This is a rare Sunday takeover right here.
And it's on a Sunday at all. Stick it to Saturdays.
Before we get into the matches, who do you think is going to be the mystery former champion returning to NXT at TakeOver? We'll start with you, Top Guy JJ.
Former NXT champion?
Former champion of NXT.
Damn, this is...
Could be male, could be female. We don't know.
This is, wow. I'm trying to run through these people. Wow. I'm just going to pick one. Just pick one. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Bobby Roode.
Miss Krssi Luv?
He ain't got no place on Monday Night Raw, and he just took a L. Might as well just come back to the brand.
Okay. Give you the Tyler Breeze effect and just come back and be better. Maybe.
Go ahead.
So you said former champion is returning to TakeOver.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Anybody?
Okay. And it's been vignettes. Okay, and it's either male or female. We don't know yet. We don't know.
It's hard.
I'm gonna go with Bo Dallas.
I will fucking throw up. I will throw up.
Out of all the names you've said on this podcast platform, I would have never, and I mean never, would have thought you would have said.
Never, ever said that shit.
Oh my god! If it comes true, oh my god, I'm gonna vomit.
I will give you mad credit on Tru Heel Heat 95.
Word. Okay, work. Like, damn. Former. Is Ember still injured?
We don't know. You can predict.
I'm going with her. That's my pick.
There you go. And then we got the matches, the only non-title match of the show. It's a grudge match. We got the Velveteen Dream going one-on-one with Kushida. 18 months after he signed with NXT, this is Kushida's first takeover appearance. Who you got, Top Guy JJ?
I'm definitely going with Kushida on this one.
Yep, absolutely.
Krssi Luv.
Agreed.
All across the board, it is for Kushida.
Dreams is about to take this L real fast.
Another one.
Next up. This is the first time on a takeover that the NXT Cruiserweight title will be defended, as it's going to be Santos Escobar defending against Isaiah Swerve Scott. Who do you got in this one? We'll start with you, Top Guy JJ.
I think this might be one of the best matches of the night. This might be one of the best matches of the card. I'm going to go with Isaiah Swerve Scott actually pulling off the upset and actually gaining the Cruiserweight Championship.
Oh.
I think this is going to be a really good match.
My heart wants to say Swerve Scott, but I'm going to say Santos Escobar continues his run. Who do you got, Krssi?
The drug lord Santos Escobar.
The drug lord. I love that nickname. Next up, you got NXT North American title on the line. Damian Priest will defend against Mr. Takeover, Johnny Gargano. Who do you got, Krssi?
It's a tough one. I see Damian Priest winning. I think he's in a match with Johnny Gargano to make him look good, I guess. But I think he's gonna retain his championship.
Okay, JJ.
This is clear. Priest is dead. Johnny has been relegated to putting people over. This is Johnny's job now. So Damian Priest is gonna have a pretty decent match with Johnny Gargano and pull off the win.
I think this is going to be a really strong matchup that Damian Priest gets the victory. This one is a rematch of, in my opinion, the women's match of the year in 2019, but this time it is for the NXT Women's Championship. Io Shirai will defend against Mrs. Gargano, Candice LeRae. I'm going to go with, as you know, one of my favorites, Io Shirai in this one. Who do you got, Top Guy JJ?
I am going to go with a very, very dirty finish in Candice LeRae becoming the new NXT Women's
What?
Who do you got, Krssi?
Damn. I feel like she's going to win it like a DQ. I don't think she's going to be champ, though. I'm going to go with Candice.
Wow. 2 for Candice. Okay. I'm going to take home the W. Good. NXT title is in the main event. Finn Balor will defend against Kyle O'Reilly. O'Reilly won the Gauntlet Eliminator to get this title shot. We got to see how this is going to affect the Undisputed Era, win or lose for Kyle O'Reilly. But this is the first title defense of Finn Balor since winning the NXT Championship on Super Tuesday Part 2. So who you got in this one? Balor versus O'Reilly. We'll start with you, Krssi Luv.
I am, of course, going to go with Balor, but I love me some Kyle. I think Kyle is going to look phenomenal in this match, though.
Top Guy JJ.
I want this to be a contender for match of the year. I want this to be a contender for match of the year very badly, but I think the finish is going to make that very shy of it. I don't think this match is going to end clean at all. I do think that Kyle gets cost this win, and Balor ends up winning this match due to somebody in his own group. I don't know which one, But somebody in his own group, I believe,
it's going to fuck it up.
is going to cost him this win.
I call Roderick.
I think that if anybody gets involved, it is going to be Tommaso Ciampa, who they did tease has an issue with Keller Rowley. But I am going to go with Finn Balor in this one. So that is all for our preview and predictions. We have to plug what we got for our lineup. We have continued coverage of the G1 Climax on G1 Climax 30 on J News Japan with a review of nights 5 and 6 as well as 7 and 8 that are up on the YouTube channel right now. We have our WWE Clash of Champions roundtable starring Top Guy JJ that is up on the channel right now. We have our latest interview for Tru Heel's BTR with the mercenary Garrison Creed is up right now as well. An all new AE recap as well as Wednesday Night Warriors and Dark Power will be up on the YouTube channel this weekend. And we will have our NXT Takeover 31 roundtable at the beginning of the week. Miss Krssi Luv, tell them where they can find you on social media.
I am the sage Miss Krssi Luv. I am one of the co-hosts of SmackDown with the Lynches. You can find me on Twitter, IG, and Facebook _ Miss Krssi Luv or Krssi Luv _ or just plain old Crystal Lynch.
Top Guy JJ.
All right, and then on Instagram, you can find me at Tru Heel _ Top Guy JJ. Facebook, I'm simply Justin Johnson, and hopefully we get to do this again really, really soon because I'm in love with this shit, man. Like I love this roundtable shit. This roundtable shit has actually been pretty cool.
You've been one of our roundtable rebels, sir. You've been doing your damn thing on them, so I got to give you credit, sir. You've been doing well on the WWE pay-per-view, so maybe you'll be a constant theme of the WWE pay-per-views because you always have an interesting opinion there.
Are you gonna be in the NXT one?
You know.
So we got a plug for our Facebook Tru Heels, the group page. You can like and be a part of that group page and vote on Wednesday Night Warriors poll for NXT and AEW. You can follow our wrestling promotion partners, Battle Club Pro and Warrior Wrestling, as well as our good friends over at Wrestling Travel on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as our good friends of Uncanny Attractions on Twitter and Instagram. Of course, you can follow the movement Tru Heel Heat on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. YouTube channels that you should definitely check out are Battle Club Pro, Warrior Wrestling, Wrestling Travel, Jimmy Macaram for TV show reviews, including Ozark and Umbrella Academy, as well as our good friend Alex McCarthy. He has great interviews up on his YouTube channel right now. And of course, if you need a plug, My Battery is Dying with Marcus Cash. Check out his YouTube channel as well. And you can listen to Tru Heel Heat on all your favorite audio platforms. So until Tru Heel Heat 95, for the princess of all the Tru Heels, Miss Krssi Luv, for her resident Tru Heel alcoholic, Top Guy JJ. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. Like this video, share, comment down below. Let us know all your thoughts. And of course, push the subscribe button and the bell to stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Heel Heat. We are signing off for her Tru Heel Heat 94. Until next time.